going? I'm Diego, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I redesigned a scene from Sonic 3, specifically the scene where Sonic ends up punching Shadow, sending him directly crash landing into the moon, so we can give you a better understanding and insight of how you can recreate your own scene. So hopefully it helps you. Let's get started.
What kind of hero abandons his friends to pursue revenge? Abandons his family?
Don't you dare talk about my family!
And here I thought you cared for them. Especially the one, what's his name?
So that was my redesign. Now let's break it down. I split the whole scene into 4 sections just to make it more manageable. The first section starts right as the tension between Sonic and Shadow reaches its breaking point. Sonic's had enough, and he dashes forward. He lands a powerful punch, catching Shadow completely off guard. I ended up with 4 key sounds for this part of the scene. First, there's what I call the zoom effect. I wanted it to feel sci-fi, but also like a mini explosion. And here's what that ended up sounding like. Next is what I call the big punch. This is the moment where Sonic's fists, charged with electricity, move slowly towards Shadow's face. Let me show you how that came out. Then there's the atmosphere. This one's more in the background. I added it to give the arena some space, and that's how that came out sounding like. Last, there's the electric charge sound. Adding this sound really helps sell how powerful the punch was, and this is how that sounds like. So yeah, the first section was all about building tension and then letting it snap. Now let's move on to the next part of the scene. This next part is more of a quick montage. We get a wide shot of the arena, some lightning strikes, and a beam of light that shoots across the screen. After layering, I ended up with 5 sounds for this part of the scene. First, there's the atmosphere. I added this to give the arena a little bit more depth, something low and steady to make the space feel bigger. Here's what that ended up sounding like. Next is the rocks breaking. Since the beam causes the ground to fracture, I layered rubble and debris sounds to sell the destruction. Let me show you how that came out. Then there's a lightning. You see sparks flash, and this sound helped match those quick bursts of energy. Check out how that sounds. And after that, I went with thunder sounds. I wanted that low rumble to carry the weight across each moment when the lightning struck. And this is how that came out sounding. And last, there's a laser blast. I used it to represent the moment where they both collide, creating a kind of sonic boom that cuts through the scene. This is how that sounds like. So yeah, this section was all about impact and aftermath, setting up the arena and showing just how strong that hit really was. Now let's move on to the next moment. So in this final part, Shadow gets punched so hard he's sent flying through space, and then as he crashes down across the surface. After layering, I ended up with 10 different sounds to bring the whole section together. So for the first moment, I have this sound, which sells the fact that Shadow broke past the atmosphere in one clean motion. Then there's a space signal sound, something just to give the moment a bit of a sci-fi feel. Then there's the atmosphere layer. Even though we're in space, I added this to ground the moment and to fill out the scene. And as Shadow approaches the moon, I added this flyby sound. Then he starts to make contact with the surface of the moon, and I layered several swoosh hits to match the impact as he crash lands on the surface of the moon. And right after the crash, Shadow slides to a complete stop, and I used a gritty gravel-like texture to capture that moment. While all of this is happening, there's still energy pulsing off of his body. This flame-like sound adds a sense of heat and motion. And finally, right as he comes to a stop, his power fades, and I use layered power-down sounds to give that moment a clean finish. So yeah, this section really just showed how far that single punch really sent him. All right, so those were all the sounds that I used to bring this redesign to life. If you made it this far, seriously, thank you. I've got more of these in the works, so if you're into sound design, make sure to subscribe, like the video, or drop a comment. I'm gonna let it play through one more time. Try to see if you can hear some of those layers that are working together behind the scenes.